Hello my loves and welcome back to Pilates with Krishna. Today we're going to be doing some side core and it's going to be pretty intense. This one did really well on Instagram and TikTok, so I thought it would be really fitting to bring this one on YouTube for a full mic'd up class. I'm just easing back into it. Bear with me. I do take breaks because that's realistic. I'll be using a wavy roller. If you have a regular roller, just use it. I use this one, and then we'll also be using ankle weights. If you like an extra bit of a challenge, you can just slap them on your ankles. I actually didn't use them this time because I already did 2 workouts today. With that being said, let's get right into today's session, starting off with a little bit of a warm-up. All right, let's begin on all fours. We're just gonna push ourselves back into our child's pose to start. Pressing into the palms, left, right. Exhale as you hollow out through the spine, chin and gaze up. Deep into the spine we go, twisting. Nice little thoracic rotation here. Ooh, I'm a little rusty, so don't mind my cues. We're just easing back into it. Inhale as we reach back down into our child's pose. Exhale, arching through the spine, nice seal. Moving with the breath, nice and easy. Inhale back. Exhale, pulling through the spine forward. Nice. We're here for 5. 4. Slowly moving into it, dipping the hips down, rolling out through the spine completely. For 3, maybe adding in some neck rolls. Breathing through for 2. Give me one more. This is my favorite way to begin any Pilates session, just because it really gets your bones ready for all the movements we're about to do. We're gonna start off in a side lying position. And since this is side body Pilates, we're gonna make sure we're aligned perfectly on the mat. So my favorite position for side lying, it's not just straight lying out. We're gonna make sure our spine is flat back against the back edge of the mat. And then we're gonna gently drag our toes up, almost like a banana-like shape with the body, right? And then, hello Soma. You wanna join us? You wanna join us? Soma wants in, and as you can see, you actually can't see because he's in the way. Hold on. I love you so much, Soma, but you gotta go. Now, where was I? Lining our backs to the back edge of the mat, we're gonna pull our legs forward, creating a banana-like shape with the body, just because if you're balancing yourself and you're in a straight line, you're just gonna keep wiggling back and forth like this, and we don't want that. So we're gonna come up here, and before we even get into our side lying series, we're gonna start off with some core connection. Specifically our TA muscles, which kind of cinch in through the waist here. So instead of working on the obliques, side series typically, targets those areas. We're gonna work on cinching in through the waist, pulling in like your body's natural core set will do if you breathe properly. So instead of engaging our obliques on these side lying exercises, we're gonna do this. Nice deep inhale here, feeling the ribs and stomach expand. There's no tension. Exhale. Navel to spine. See how my deep core is engaged? It's not necessarily my obliques, because if I was really pushing down through the obliques, it would be more so like this, and that would push out our TA, which is what we don't want, because that will give us that boxy shape that literally no one wants. So let's focus on the TA. navel to spine. We're gonna roll onto our left glute and come up, bending through the knees, squeezing the thighs together, pulling down through the elbow. Inhale, extend. You're balancing yourself completely on your left glute. Exhale, navel to spine. Beautiful. Focusing in on that form. Inhale, extend. See just how far you can extend out, keeping your shoulders down and away from the ears. Exhale, roll into the glute. Nice. Bringing it in with grace. Beautiful. We have 8 here. And if this is too much, continue through while I talk. If this is too much, feel free to lie on your back and start off with some toe taps like so. Always want to offer in a modification just in case. But if you're fine with that, just continue through. Give me 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Dropping down through that left leg here. We're going to bring the hips out. Inhale as you drag the toe forward. Exhale, pressing back through the heel, just sweeping the leg through. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Really start to bring that ankle flexion into play. Pointing the toe as you drag forward, as far as your hips will allow without overextending. Exhale, dragging the heel back. Beautiful. Keeping it nice and controlled. You can start to feel the tension build in your side glutes. Not letting your left oblique sag into the mat. We don't want our posture to look like this. We're nice and controlled, keeping it high. Breathing through. I really underestimated how hard I was going to be talking through this in a sunroom with a skylight, but you know, we're pushing through it. We're pushing through it. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale, navel to spine back. And you're holding that tension there. Beautiful. This is going to get a little bit harder in a second, so bear with me. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Holding it there or taking a break. We're going to pull up through the left oblique, like so, into our full supported side plank, continuing through for 6. Whew. Stay with me for 5. Allow your breath to carry you through for 4, 3, 2, and 1. With control, dropping down, punching it out. Whew, child. Why did I wear sweats today? Why did I wear sweats? I don't know. Getting water if you need. I know some teachers don't really get into the breaks, but girl, I'm gonna take a break. If there's one thing about me, your best core control will come to you when you've properly had time to rest. And I'll stand by that. On another note, this Harmless Harvest coconut water, the pink one, is the best coconut water I've ever tasted. So if you haven't tried some, girl, go get you some. All right, when we're ready, we're gonna come in, back into position on the sideline. We're gonna rotate back onto that left oblique, or not oblique, that left butt cheek, because girl, what else do I say? We're gonna drag the right arm behind the head again, but this time we're gonna extend and open up for a scissor. Nice deep inhale, let the belly expand. Exhale, navel to spine, get that deep core connection as we pull through. Inhale back. Exhale, pulling it straight through. Full extension. Allowing your core to pull your legs up. No momentum. It may take a little bit to get, but trust me, once you find that deep core connection, it'll feel so good. Getting that connection every time, no rush. There's no rushing it, trust me. Inhale down. Navel to spine, pulling it through. Nice. Breathing through. Give me 5. Yes, we can. Ooh, the hip flexors. We're coming in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bringing it back down. Now we're going to come up fully into our plank, side plank. You can either start here or we can come down onto our forearm. It's really whichever you prefer, but I'm gonna come up just because it's more comfortable, in my opinion. We're gonna come up into our plank. Inhale, nice and long. Exhale, navel to spine, connecting with the core. We're gonna pull the bottom leg through, taking the left leg down, back behind the right heel before coming back into our crunch. Nice and slow. Only here for 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Dropping it down, coming right back into our crunch here. Our teaser variation here. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rolling onto that glute, pulling through. Nice and strong. Inhale, release. Exhale, navel to spine, pulling forward. Whew, my voice is shaking. We've got this. We're only here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Pulling the legs in. Coming up for our supported side plank variation. Taking the right hand back behind the head and drawing the hips forward. As you can see, I'm kind of angled this way. Inhale as we drop down through the hips. Exhale, navel to spine. We're picking it up. Here for 8 counts. And then we're going to add a leg lift into it, keeping the legs bent. If your wrist is starting to bother you, feel free to make a fist with the hand, like this. But I'm going to take off my ring, just so that's not bothering me. Inhale, dipping through the hips. Exhale, picking it back up with the core, nice and strong. Beautiful, stay with me. Give me 2. And 1, floating that leg up. If you feel yourself a little misaligned, like right now I feel a little misaligned, I'm gonna pull my hand in closer, making sure it's right underneath my shoulder before dipping back down, stacking the legs as you descend. Inhale down. Exhale, drawing up through the leg, nice and strong. You're gonna feel this in your left glute as well as your core through each rep. Absolutely stunning. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down, tapping down through the left side and right back up, minus the leg lift. Yes, we can. Just a few more. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Giving it a rest. Whew. Taking your roller, you're going to place it right underneath the top of your feet. And then we're gonna come in for a bear plank. But before we even get into that, we're gonna get our core connection here, making a fist with the hands, firmly pressing away, keeping the shoulders down and away from the ears, chin and gaze down. Inhale at the base. Exhale, pulling your navel in towards the spine, flat back. We're gonna pull up. Rolling out. On the inhale, exhale, pulling in, bear plank. Whew, working on those stabilizers. Inhale, rolling out. Exhale, navel to spine. Taking your time with this one. Getting the form correct. Inhale as we lengthen, keeping it nice and firm through the thighs. We're squeezing our quads here on the extension. Exhale, navel to spine, pulling in. I'm gonna roll these up because I obviously did not think about functionality. Inhale, extend. Exhale, point in the toes as you pull forward, bowing through the spine. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Dropping down, giving yourself a second before coming into these pikes, which are going to be a bit harder. Modification for these, I actually don't recommend doing these in any other way. So if you don't want to do these, you can just do a downward dog into a plank. How about that? So when we're ready, nice deep inhale. Exhale, protecting the spine. You're gonna pike your butt up to the highest position before slowly bringing it down. That's where you're gonna feel the most tension in the core. Rolling back out. Beautiful. Inhale up. Exhale, slowly releasing down. Whew. Give me 3. 2. It can be tiny little movements. For 1, dropping down. Beautiful. Whew, let's give our wrists a break. Moving to the other side. I don't know if you guys can see that far, but I am drenched in sweat. So I know if I'm drenched, girl, you're right there with me. Another water break, if you will. Whew. I haven't done a class where I've talked completely through it in a while, and wow, my endurance, like I'm gonna need to get that back, cause girl, I am clearly suffering. All right, when we're ready, I'm gonna pull this over here. So again, lining ourselves up with the back edge of the mat, we're gonna pull our legs forward. Getting our core connection first. If your big toes are not aligned, you're gonna push down on your pubic bone until they are. Taking your left palm and placing it behind your ear. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, navel to spine. You're rolling onto that right glute, pulling in, sticking those quads together, and tapping with your elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, navel to spine, pulling in nice and tight through the core. Beautiful. Keeping yourself moving at the pace of your own breath. Each inhale, the full duration, we're pulling in. Each exhale, we're pressing out, holding almost like an iso hold. I really want you to focus on that breath because that is everything with that deep core connection. Inhale, feel the belly expand. There's no tension. Exhale, pulling in, navel to spine, drawing in nice and tight. A good way you can progressively overload this is obviously placing weights on the ankles or just increasing the time that you're holding at the beginning and the end of the movement. Give me 6. Beautiful for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Placing the legs down, we're gonna bend through the right leg and continue keeping our leg level with our torso. We're gonna pull the leg forward, sweeping it through, pointed toe, exhale, flex through the heel and draw it back. Nice. Keeping your posture high. If you've sunken into your shoulder, just make sure we're bringing it back up. Beautiful. Inhale, sinking into yourself. Exhale, holding out strong. Nice. Moving through the core. Give me 5 before we float up into that supported plank. For 4, 3, holding that tension in the left glute. For 2, and 1. Beautiful, raising up. Or continuing on your forearm. It's really whatever you feel like. Whoo, the glutes are starting to kill. Inhale as you drag in. Exhale, pulling it back. Beautiful. Nice and strong. We're pushing through for 5, 4, 3, holding strong. For 2, And 1, taking it down, punching it out. Taking a little break, I'm gonna grab some water. We are almost halfway done with the left side. Absolutely stunning. Taking as much time as you need, pausing if you'd like. But honestly, if we were in a real class together, trust me, I would be taking these pauses too. All right. Taking a few more breaths. Nice and slow, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice deep inhale, feeling the belly expand. Exhale, getting our core connection there. And when we're ready, we're going to extend the legs out, pulling onto our right glutes again, extending our arm back through our left side. We're going to roll onto the glute, opening up through the legs, nice scissor. Inhale down. Exhale, making sure your core is tight and engaged here as you pull up, using no momentum. Rotating through the core, taking it nice and slow. Opening through the palm if you need a little bit more stability. Beautiful. Give me 8 counts. Yes, we can. Pushing through. If this is a bit of a struggle, feel free to just do your normal teaser, half teaser, just bending through the knees here and extending out. It works the same muscles. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, navel to spine, pulling through. Beautiful. Whoop, almost lost my balance. I'm going to move down. Give me 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Coming up into our full side plank here. Making sure your right leg is placed behind your left heel for stability. Taking our left hand back behind our left ear, you're going to pull your right knee in, tapping down, elbow to knee, extending back for that side plank. Inhale here. Exhale for that side crunch. Beautiful. Nice and strong. Yes, we can. Give me 5, 4, 3, nice and tight. For 2, and 1. Beautiful. Whew. Sinking back down, right into our teaser again. Inhale, fully lengthen. Exhale, dropping down to your right glute, pulling through. Beautiful. Nice and controlled. Keeping that precision on each and every rep. We're trying to hit that same mark with our toes and our arm as we fully extend, keeping all the principles in mind. Beautiful. with the breath. I'm pretty loud and expressive with my exhale, so hopefully you're not suffering at the end of this mic. I don't know, I think it's more important to be expressive on the exhale because it kind of gives you the power to hold longer or push through, I've found. For 3. 2. For 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Coming down. And readjusting if needed. We're going to pull solely through the hips, placing our left hand down on our pubic bone. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, navel to spine, pulling up through the core. You can either continue here or come up like so. Inhale, dipping down through the hips. Exhale, pulling forward. Nice and strong. We're keeping our palm almost directly underneath the shoulder. For support, dragging your chin and gaze down. Beautiful. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. A few more here before we add our leg lift. Nice and strong. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Adding the leg lift, 1 fluid motion. Ooh, my right shoulder. It's building that tension. Moving slowly through the core here. With the breath. Nice and strong. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Sinking down and grabbing our roller when we're ready. Pulling onto all fours for our bear planks. We're going to roll it out. Giving yourself a little bit of a break. I know this is really wrist and shoulder heavy. Placing a lot of tension there. Again, if you want to do this without the roller, you're just going to continue like so. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, navel to spine. Just pulling up to bear plank and tapping through. But for my girls who are continuing through with the roller, you already know. We're going to place the roller on the tops of our feet, making a fist with the hands if your wrists are really not feeling it. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, neutral spine before pulling up, rolling through. Nice and strong. Staying with me, we're here for 5, 4, 3, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Coming back up through the pike. Whew. If I had a bigger roller, this would be easier for me. But with the ridges and everything, I'm like, girl. Coming in for our pikes. Like so. For 5, 4, 3, breathing through. For 2, and 1. Removing the roller. We're gonna end off with a little winding down series, pressing back into child's pose. Letting the tension go. Pulling through into seal. But this time sinking down to your forearms. We're gonna let the neck roll through. Breathing it out. Now gently pressing back up into full seal. Rolling down through the neck, pressing back into child's pose. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Coming up. Whew. I know we didn't get through a couple of the movements for side lying, but honestly, I think that was enough. I hope you really enjoyed this workout. There is going to be much more to come as I ease back into teaching mic'd up on YouTube. So it'll either be a follow-along class or a class like this. Just let me know which one you prefer. The other one, I'm not talking. You can pop in your headphones, listen to your own music. But if you prefer guided sessions, just let me know and I'll keep posting ones like these. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next session.